With me now is Owen Fitzpatrick. He is NLP master trainer, licensed NLP master trainer. He is accomplished author. You have written several books with Dr. Richard Bandler, and he is, if I'm correct, the youngest master trainer ever to be certified by Dr. Richard Bandler. Is this correct?
Yes.
Tell a bit about yourself.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose I've been teaching or training NLP for, I don't know, 12 years or so. No, 13 or 14 at this stage. I've been studying NLP for almost 20 at this stage.
Yeah.
And the youngest licensed master trainer, that was a long time ago. So that was when I was...
Looks like yesterday.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're very very polite. But it was when I was 23 years old, and it was in 2002.
Yeah.
So I'm 34 this year, which I'm getting older. But back then I was training quite a lot in terms of in different places, and yeah, I was very, very lucky. I'm definitely not the youngest master trainer now, because I think there might be other people that are younger, but
yeah,
not anyone that got it at the age 23. So
right.
you know, from that point of view, it was a great honor, and really I don't see it as something that I got for doing something. I see it's something that I got, and it's something that I continue to try to earn.
Right.
And because you know, it's something, it's a special, I suppose, a special title from Dr. Bandler that, you know, that motivates me to try to continue to become better and better all the time.
Wonderful. At what age did you start in NLP?
Well, I started I first started reading books about NLP around 13 or 14 years old. And then I did a hypnotherapy course. I was one of the youngest hypnotherapists qualified. I actually had to bully my way into the course because they wouldn't let me go into it because it was too young to do therapy. But I kept pushing, got permission slips and all. And eventually they let me do it. And I was like 15, 16 when I started that. So I started working with clients very early on. And I also trained in terms of, I started learning NLP then as well. And you know, I got into this very young, so like I've been actively in the field of NLP for over half my life at this stage.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. So, I mentioned you have written several books together with Dr. Bandler. What are the other books about?
Well, the first one was Conversations with Richard Bandler, which was the very first one that I wrote. And then since then there was Choose Freedom, which was a book, which was a story book about, and it hasn't been published in English yet, but it's a story about you know, a guy who goes to a training and he learns from Dr. Bandler in the training. We've since written a sequel to that, which is actually the first book out in English, called The Ultimate Introduction to NLP, and that's been published by HarperCollins in January and in February in the States and stuff. And then the last one is the sequel to Conversations, which hopefully will be out sometime mid to late next year, called Memories.
Memories.
And so I did the
so
4
we're looking
books.
Up for this one.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. So.
Now, with all this experience, in which areas do you use NLP most to help people to change their lives? What is
well, one of the most important things, I suppose, I run a course called the Charisma Bootcamp, where I basically brought a bunch of experts together, a magician, a comedian, a stylist, and had them all teaching people charisma from their own point of view. So how do you present yourself in the most charismatic way? How do you communicate, use your voice with a voice coach? How do you ensure that you're mastering all different aspects of your communication? Right. So I tended to do quite a lot of work on charisma, but I've worked with, you know, Olympic athletes, I've worked with billionaires, I've worked with all sorts of people in terms of business, do a lot of business coaching. So I typically get hired by people pretty much around the world, you know, to help them with their company, to be able to help them improve the quality of how they do business, how they communicate, how they sell, how they you know, motivate their staff, a lot of leadership development. Wow. That's kind of the area that I work in most.
It's a very big umbrella where NLP is actually helping people to do something in their life, to change something.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wonderful. And now that you have been so long also in the field of NLP and with Richard, what would you say is so special and so unique about Richard's way of doing NLP?
Well, for me, it all comes down to attitude. You know, I mean, I've seen most of the older, you know, trainers that have been training NLP for a long time. And a lot of them train, but really the best thing you get from them is content. Whereas with Richard, I believe the best thing you get is the attitude. And the attitude is one not just of curiosity or what he calls tenacious resolve or determination, but it's an attitude that says that, you know, you can break through any limitation. And not only that, but you can see things from many different points of view. And he's also one of the funniest trainers that you'll ever find. And his sense of humor, to me, is one of the most unique parts of him. You know, Richard is not interested in trying to, you know, have everyone look up to him and think he's amazing. He's more interested in getting results from my experience. And he doesn't try to. He's very real. He's very himself.
Yeah.
And for me, if there's two things that I really appreciate about him, it's he's absolutely real, authentic, and he's also he's also very funny, and he enjoys life. He has a great sense of humor. So they'd be the two qualities that I think make him stand so much apart. Plus the fact he's a genius as well.
He is wonderful. Last question. NLP is really picking up in Malaysia. The awareness of NLP Malaysia is rising, how it can really help people to change things in their life, professional and personal life. And what is the advice you can give to people who are looking for really quality NLP in Malaysia, to the people there? And what do they need to take care of by choosing the right NLP training program?
Well, I think the key is, and I know you do some really good work there, I think the key is to look for people who have been trained, by, I suppose, Richard Bandler, spent enough time learning from Richard, the keys to NLP. Now, that doesn't guarantee you'll get a good trainer, but it does make it more likely that you'll get a good trainer. Right. Because, again, for me, the most powerful part of NLP is a lot of the stuff that Richard, has brought to the table with, as I said, his attitude, his sense of humor, who he is, When he teaches in a certain way that infuses you with a sense of hope, a sense of determination, a sense of understanding how to use the skills in the way they're supposed to be used. Right. So I think that, make sure that they're approved by the society, approved, by Dr. Richard Bandler. And I think if you stay on that, you'll be far more likely to find someone really, really good.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Owen, for your time. Appreciate it very much. And have fun at the conference here.
I will do. Thanks a lot, Garth.
Cheers. Okay, thanks.